What is up, YouTube? HPJ here, and I'm coming at you guys because it's time to update Sky Striker after the TCG's Forbidden Limited list changed dramatically. What impact did this have? I had to replace one card to put in one card to put in a whole nother card because there's only one Triple Tactics talent now. Thanks, guys. Alright, so in terms, it's not really much of a big change, but cards have to fill in where other cards have to. So, starting off are my monsters, and there's only 3 copies of Sky Striker Ace Ray and 1 copy of Sky Striker Ace Rose. And then from there, I'm going to go into my spells. So, for the Sky Striker spells, we have triple copies of Sky Striker Mobilize Engage, 3 copies of Sky Striker Mobilize Linkage, then 3 copies of Sky Striker Mech Widow Anchor, 2 copies of the Mech Shark Cannon, 1 Afterburner, 1 Hornet Drone, 1 Area Zero, and then 1 multi-roll. So that's it for the spells. Then for the for the other spells, because these are the non-Sky Striker spells, 3 Upstart Goblin, 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Lightning Storm with 2 Raigeki, 2 Change, 2 Triple Tactics Talent, 2 Triple Tactics Thrust, 1 Talent, 1 Call By, 1 Duster, and 1 Rhoda. So hopefully you guys can see all that in one swipe. Alright, and then the last part of the deck is the hold on, because those are my monsters. Okay, we're gonna go into the trap cards. The trap cards simply are just 3 copies of Impermanence. Alright, so that's it for the main deck. That's a total of 40. Going into the extra deck, I have 3 copies of Sky Striker Ace Shizuku, 3 copies of Sky Striker Ace Kigari, 2 copies of Hayate, 1 copy of Kina, 1 copy of Zeke, 1 Winnie the Wind Charmer Verdant, 1 copy of Hita the Flame Charmer Ablaze, 1 copy of Dirk the Dark Charmer Gloomy, and of course there is this. Great. Okay, there we go. And then 1 Celine the Queen of Master Magician, and 1 Access Code Talker, and then I have like the tokens for the Hornet Drone. So, alright, let's go ahead and talk about this deck overall. So, the only major changes was that I was going to run the multiple copies of Triple Tactics Talent, but as we all seen, the Forbidden Limited list changed that because the card got too abused and too well crafted for the current game. So, I'll start off with the extra deck, which is real simple. We got the 3 copies of Shizuku. At the end of the turn, you can add any Sky Striker spell from your deck to your hand, as long as it doesn't share the same name as the one in your deck. That's not going to be, in your grave, that's not going to be too hard, especially with the multiple copies that you run. So you're bound to at least run into 1 Sky Striker Ace spell that is not in your graveyard. Kigari is here to retrieve your Sky Striker Ace spells and add them to your hand. The thing about Kigari in Shizuku is Shizuku reduces the attack and defense of monsters on your opponent's side of the field up to the number of spells that you have in your graveyard, while Kigari increases her attack points by the number of spell cards in your graveyard by 100. So while one is more offensive oriented, the other one tends to be more defensive oriented. And while one's searching the deck for your spells, the other one is retrieving for your spells. Then we have the copies of Striker Ace Hayate. Hayate is here to basically direct attack and Foolish Burial your Sky Striker cards so that you can have them ready to go for either Kigari coming back to the board, sending Ray or Rose into the grave to trigger their abilities, or setting up for a multi-roll for the later part of the game. Kina is here because she's going to be giving you life points after each of your spells resolve. She can come once she comes onto the board. She can force one of your opponent's monsters to not be able to attack. She's more of a stall basis or a more of a negate, more of a deal with situation type of monster. But she's not too bad overall. It's just that there's only need for one of her. There's no need for multiples. Zeke, same situation. She's here for the removal. She gains her points, and then she's just there to swing. I have my 3 Charmers, Winnie, Hita, and Dirk. Winnie for the Joel and Lockbirds, Hita to go grab Ash Blossom, and Dirk is here just in case you want to grab any darks. You link 3 of them into, of course, Celine, the Queen of Master Magician, since they're already spellcaster, and your other monster will just be a random. You can easily just, feed into that, go get them back with Celine, and then link into a new monster, which of course will be your inboard of getting the access code to help you finish the game. So that's it for my extra deck. Going into the main deck itself, wait just 1 second. It's not too much of a hard thing with going into my extra deck for my main, because my main and my extra tend to just really coincide well with each other, because your main resources are your 2 main monsters, which are Ray and Rose. Ray being able to summon herself when a special link monster leaves that you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field by a card effect. Putting herself onto the board from the grave, so that way you can have access to her as soon as possible and doesn't, really hurt anything. You have multiple ways of putting her into the grave, or at least setting up the lineup so that you can put her into the grave with ease. We love Ray, we love her ability, and just the ability to set up for her entire archetype. While Rose, on the other hand, is more so of the, if we don't get Ray, she'll fit in. She can come to the board when you summon a monster. When a monster leaves the field, she can come to the board. She has negation. Oh no, does she have negation? I'm sorry, it's been a minute. No, she doesn't have negation, but she can easily bring herself onto the board. Oh, she does have negation, I'm sorry. She does have negation. It's when she's coming from the graveyard, which isn't bad, but let's be real, we just wanted the additional names. From there, my version of this deck goes into its heavy lineup of spells, which can fluctuate if I wanted to. I can throw in some cards like different dimensional barrier, just to swap out and deal with other decks that are heavy focus on link summons, synchros, fusions, exceeds, and rituals and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's more of a side card thing. I was considering putting it back in here. With the inclusion of most of the spells, remember, if you have 3 or more spells, they gain their additional abilities, so that way you can benefit from them as well. Engage is a search and then draw 3. Widow Anchor is a negate your opponent's monster and then take it if need be. The linkage is basically here to set up for link plays. But also the crazy thing about it is that if you have the light and dark in the grave, for your Sky Strikers, your monster will gain the 1000. But it's a quick way to go into your extra deck as soon as possible. The Shark Cannon allows you to banish a monster from your opponent's grave and then be able to use it when you have the 3 or more. Afterburner, monster removal, and spell and trap removal. Then the Hornet Drum makes a token, and if it's 3 or more, of course, the token gains 1500 attack and defense. The Area 0 to thin out the deck, and the multi-roll to help protect the cards while also being accessible to the board. Star Goblin for draw power. Cosmic Cyclone for spell and trap removal. Lightning Storm for either spell and trap removal or heavy monster removal. Raigeki for just straight up monster removal. Change of Heart. Take your opponent's monster, fill another spell in the grave, and then utilize its ability to take control of your opponent's monster and do with it as you wish. Triple Tactics Thrust. Triple Tactics Talent. I'm rolling these coincide just to benefit from their abilities. The talent allows me to search my deck for marshals and traps, but I can't use them that turn. If I so, it's perfectly fine. With this deck, you're most likely going to play that card, so there won't be no need of release setting, especially if your opponent activated an effect this turn, which 9 out of 10. If your opponent activating the card's effect, a monster's effect on your turn is going to be likely to happen. Same thing with Triple Tactics Talent, which is only going down because it has so many multiple usage of itself. The draw 2, the confiscation, or the change of heart, whichever one you prefer to choose. And I think that's why this card itself is so strongly hit on the Forbidden Limited list for its triple abilities that it has. The call by to deal with the graveyard, Duster for the spell and trap removal, and reinforcement of the army to basically go get for either Ray or Rose. Then the last of this, of course, is the trap of choice, which is the imperm. So basically just have a free negate, a free drop off for the negation, and just to go from there. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, that is it for my Skyshaker Ace deck profile. I do apologize, I am very sleepy, so I'm trying to record this as fast as I can so I can get it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, the comment section is available. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as it helps out tremendously. Hit the notification bell to be informed of when I upload more content to my channel. My socials are in the description box below. And with that said, thanks everyone for watching. It's Jay signing out. Take care.